Hey there! Welcome back to the Mothcast, a podcast about video games and how a couple of moths feel about them. The game for episode 45 is Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, a twin-stick shooter about being a turnip and shaking people down. Special guest is joining us today, Blonde Pixie, my sister. Figured it would be good to get her back since she was in the episode where we covered the first Turnip Boy game. Unfortunately, we were unable to get the other guest that day, Catlegs, but that's okay. Maybe next time, maybe another time. Anyways, be sure to say exactly nothing, trip over some laser beams, and let's get into the podcast. All right. So, the game this week is called Turnip Boy Robs a Bank.
Robs a bank.
Sequel to Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
Yep.
Yeah, it was still in development whenever we played the first game so many weeks ago.
Yeah, like many weeks.
Actually, how many weeks was it?
We have the very same person who played the first game with us.
Our cast this week is including our sister, Blonde Pixie.
Hello.
Hello.
Unfortunately, Catlegs couldn't make it for this one.
Right.
Her schedule is too busy.
Yeah, and that's okay.
But she is with us in spirit.
She's with us in spirit. I think she would enjoy this game. The first game, the Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, was actually episode 15. So this is fitting because this will be episode 45.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. Anyway, so unlike the first game, this is actually a twin-stick shooter. I think that
it kind of was a twin-stick shooter in the first one.
Yeah,
like slightly, because
not as much as this one though.
I don't. Did the first game even have like ranged weapons?
Not ranged weapons, but you had a sword.
Yeah, this game is definitely a twin-stick shooter, not a twin-stick slasher for sure.
Well, I mean, if you use melee weapons
slasher.
most of the time, like I did, but
did you really? That's what I was going to ask earlier, but then I didn't. I don't think I used the melee weapon past the first one for a little bit.
The melee weapons are so good.
Yeah, no, I just shot everything. I preferred like the shotgun, the rocket launcher, the grenade launcher, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I used the scythe for a while.
The scythe was cool.
and the chainsaw. I used the chainsaw a lot, but then there was some of them where I couldn't actually just use the chainsaw. It was too much, so I had to change to a different gun. But I like the grenade launcher definitely.
Yeah, the grenade launcher was up there for me.
Yeah, I used this like machine gun, the green like machine gun.
Oh yeah, the end game machine gun.
It looks like a gun from Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, it's really.
I use that a lot. I'm like, I throw that in the locker, and anytime I leave or do anything, I can just pick that up.
Most used weapon, to be honest, was the like bone throwing thing.
Oh really?
Yeah, like once I found it, I used that a lot. Yeah, the chakram.
It's not bad.
I don't know. I tend to gravitate towards those style of things where it's like infinite shots, but like you have to kind of play around. Yeah, you have to kind of play around.
It's like a melee weapon that you throw.
Yeah. But yeah, this game is much different than the first game in terms of how you play it, because it's much more of a like roguelite. Almost.
It's like a roguelite light.
Roguelite light, yeah. That's pretty
only
accurate.
Some of the rooms change, but not all of them.
It's the shit.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even go that far because like the layout of the layout of the map is the same. It's just various doors, but then like even the enemies stay the same.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's all very, very predictable. The only thing that's random is obviously what doors you see and then what I guess guns and weapons drop.
Yeah.
Although there are certain weapons that are pretty like I guess
much
you could
better than others.
Well, no, I'd say like reliable. You can get them pretty easily.
Well, definitely the boss ones.
The boss ones
are really good.
And then
some of the weapons are like area based.
Yeah, I was gonna say tied to certain
Like they're
rooms.
all
That is true, yeah. They are.
so
But yeah.
there's like consistencies, but the rogue light and the changing rooms part is like there's elevators every once in a while. You don't know which room in the elevator is gonna pop up.
Yep. But
and it might not be the one that you need.
I found
so you
that
have to go back out and back in again.
yeah, I found that getting towards the end of the game, it does like try to give you the ones that you want, the ones that like your quests are calling for. But
Sometimes
I don't know. Maybe it was just very lucky on my
the
part.
mushroom.
I don't know.
was the
Every time
mushroom.
It was always the mushroom for you.
it was the mushroom.
I
was,
completed all of the mushroom quests, so I'm like, okay, I just need the mushroom room to pop up.
and then
Did
never
it pop
And then
up?
it never did.
Yeah.
It did eventually, but oh my gosh, I had to go through like every single elevator like multiple times, back out and back in, back out.
Whenever
and
I
back
had
in.
to find the mushroom, I just
Mushroom.
farmed the first 2 elevators in the lobby, but until I got it.
I mean, that would just
Because
be like the very, very end. I mean, if
yeah,
you have like no other quests left.
I mean,
pretty much.
that was pretty much it. But I was like walking around to every single elevator because I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. I would do that for the
Like, please, I just need a mushroom.
the Dark Souls campfire.
Yeah, well, the Dark Souls campfire was actually pretty easy, just because like you could sit outside it and like fight infinite enemies with a weapon, and then like
Oh yeah, just
until the timer runs out for real. All right.
Easy
Let's
peasy.
let's start at the beginning. This game has basically the same graphics as the first one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is good
changed.
because like I like the consistency.
Yeah,
in the art
no,
style.
I like it's an extremely charming like art style. It's all pixel, but like I
They're
guess
like, this style is perfect. Nothing needs to change.
yeah,
And
basically
everyone was
they
like, yeah.
peaked. There are some like really fun additions like the policemen where some of them are like bacon, which is pretty funny because obviously
They're
like
pig.
Some of them
Yeah.
were donuts.
donuts.
Some of them were donuts.
I don't know where like the peach and
Because they were the fuzz.
It was the fuzz.
oh my gosh, the fuzz. Oh my, I didn't even put that together.
Peaches are fuzzy.
What were the other ones?
They're
Crap.
not the nectarines.
There was the pepper ones.
There were
The SWAT team, the
the-
pepper SWAT team.
Yeah, pepper.
yeah.
SWAT peppers. There's I think the like lambs, the sheep have police hats too.
No, it's the rabbits.
No.
The rabbits
it's
were
definitely the
security
sheep.
guards.
Oh yeah, okay. And then snails were
there were
also too.
there were also like orange security guard or orange peppers that were security guards.
Yeah. Very very funny. But yeah, no. So like the other notable graphical like change is, I guess you could say, the maps, where like in the first game it was a lot more like the maps were whole, right? Like each
Yeah.
area kind of flowed into each other. It was outside, obviously, is a pretty big change. Whereas this one is inside pretty much the entire time, you know, where you're at your hideout versus inside the bank that you're currently robbing.
Mhm.
And
because you go back out and then go back into the
then
same
you
bank
go
that
out
you're
and you go
currently
in and then you
robbing.
go out and then you go in and then you go out and then you do that out
Yeah, 'cause
infinitum
there's
until
like
the
a
game ends.
timer because the bank manager has the police under his like payroll.
Yeah.
So like you got a timer until the jammer stops and they get called,
Yeah.
etc.
Which is where the like sort of rogue element kind of comes in, where you have to do like these small 3-minute to 5-minute runs. And then like once the timer runs out, the police are called and then the enemy density like goes up considerably and it gets much more dangerous to be there, which I mean like obviously subjective because
Wasn't
Unless you're cool and have more health and more better weapons, and then you stay until the gas starts going.
yeah.
Yeah, and even then, sometimes I stayed like in the gas.
I didn't really overstay my welcome that often. Maybe I think I got to the gas like twice, but I don't know. I didn't really.
I got to it quite a few times when I had to farm for those mushroom quests.
Enemies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I purposefully like try the whole time to get the peach guys.
Yeah, the peach guys that you had to kill like many
And they
times.
don't really spawn naturally unless you're in seed stock, which is
Right.
like little town. And even then it was only a couple.
But yeah, no, like not a whole lot of graphical changes. I would give this game like super high praise. Everything is very like legible, seeable. If you're supposed to stand somewhere, like it's definitely very obvious where you're supposed to stand and where you're not supposed to stand. You know, there's like green goo in certain spots. The shots are very obvious that they're enemy shots.
Yeah, like the first game.
Yeah, like
Pretty
the
clear,
first game,
like
basically.
what the obstacles are.
Yeah, and all the enemies have a little red things outline surrounding them, so you know if like an enemy is going to hurt you if you run into them, versus an NPC, which is usually like white or green.
It's like a green. Well, the green ones are the ones you can rob from.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think the green is the ones where you can shake them down, literally, because you just like pick them up and shake them.
You really do. Like he doesn't have hands, but he picks them up and he shakes them down.
Well, I mean, how do you shoot the guns if you don't have hands either? So I don't know. Like you got to figure it out.
Don't think about it.
Yeah, it's like Veggie Tales. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Don't think about it too much. Yeah, no, I don't like. There's not really any notes that I can really come up with about the graphics. They're just like amazing. They're so. I guess
go watch the first one and
go watch the first one.
See what we say about those about that. Just apply them here. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The thing that definitely changed though was the music. It is
yeah,
way more hype in this game. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I did notice it was a lot more fast. There was a lot more fast-paced ones, but I mean, it makes sense considering the style of game that it is.
Yeah, it's a much faster game for sure.
You're robbing a bank, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like, it's also the enemies are much more. The screen is shaking with explosions and like bullets are flying everywhere, and enemies are like shooting at you and running around. Sometimes they're like charging at you, and it's like. This
so you really needed like the fast-paced music to like
yeah
right, we're going fast.
And I mean it definitely super pumps you up. I mean you're basically I don't know, basically I played this game in 2 like sittings, and I definitely felt compelled to like continue both times, even though I
played it in one sitting. Because when I started playing it, I couldn't stop.
Yeah, it's definitely a kind of game that you can listen to the soundtrack of.
The frog gun, dude.
So honestly, good. Like this one might be one of the games out of one of the many games that I've played that I would probably buy the soundtrack of.
Yeah.
Just so that I can have it or like use it in videos or just
honestly,
whatever.
That is a good point. I wonder if it's on non-specific music streaming apps.
Yeah. I would say yes, Nicole, but like the first one definitely had much more like
chill music.
Yeah, much more chill and kind of like.
I mean, what's more chill than committing tax?
Listen, right? You tear up a page versus you shoot a gun at a garlic. Like, what's the? Come on.
Did you notice there's a difference in this game where you got a couple of pieces of paper and you were like super disappointed that you couldn't tear them up?
Yeah,
because
it was like,
they're laminated.
They're laminated. I can't tear this up.
Everything's laminated. I noticed that too, and I'm like, oh, it's laminated. They're learning.
They figured out how to stop me. My one weakness: stairs. Quite a fun callback, to be honest. Just because I remember we definitely we definitely had like a pretty big reaction whenever like we all said that we had a pretty big reaction whenever the core of the first game was like, oh, tear that page up, oh, tear that up.
Tear
I
everything.
know. I was like, I get to
Tear it
beat
all. Yeah, tear it up.
evil.
Yes, tear the tax documents. Tear them all up.
Oh, and the two of the townspeople that you sent the letter to that you ended up tearing up in the first game. And then they got married.
They
and I
got-
was
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
"Aw,
right.
they got
together.
married
It's so
anyway."
good. Even though you tore up the letter, we still
The
That
brought
they
love
sent
letter.
to each other. That's right.
Yeah.
the like strawberry and
They were
blueberry.
like, you have to make this up to us. Otherwise,
Yeah,
we're just
and
going to be angry at you for the rest of our lives. Okay, sure, we'll get you a ring.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like the music styles in this game definitely, we say fast paced, but the genres are more like, a lot more dubstep and like EDM.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't even remember off the top of my head what.
It was
The-
adventure music.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of just adventure music. There was the
Mhm.
certain buildings where it was like, oh, you're in the one like haunted house. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Back in the first game, whereas this was all just like pumping, like you're lifting weights now, you're running on the treadmill now, like that kind of thing. Yeah, I like no notes. It definitely kept the pace up and kept you pushing forward towards wanting to do more, which I assume is what their goal was. Because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that incentivize just one more level in this game. They do a lot of it very, very. I guess I would say like predatory-y, where they're like, you want to play this game forever. Woo! You know,
I'm playing it right now.
I haven't stopped
actually.
playing it. Yeah, it's all like super duper. Like play me again. Just like you finish the game. All right, play me again.
Yeah.
You're having a bad day and you need to just hit things. Just come over here.
Crank up the
Go
music
ahead.
and play me
Play
again.
some.
You get to feel
some-
evil. You're robbing a bank.
Yeah.
Although,
Yes.
I was gonna say I think that they did a pretty good job like framing you as like not the bad guy, even though you are definitely committing crimes.
It's fine. They're
But, like,
committing
they-
more
Good people.
crimes.
They
What are
kind of did that in the
crimes?
first one too, no? Whereas
Yeah.
like in this game they're like, oh, you know, the evil like
In the
old
first
hairy
game,
garlic.
you may be committing tax evasion, but it's a corrupt mayor. So,
Right, exactly.
Like, are
It's
you
like,
really?
oh man,
doing
are you
that?
really being the
Are
bad
you?
guy? Come on. In this game, it's like, oh man, it's the greedy like bank
greedy-
owner. Oh man, he's been like stealing from people. You're not really that
He's been
bad.
treating the refugee townsfolk like crap.
Yeah.
because of the
Oh
war.
no, it's so bad. He's been like hoarding resources and building up the rooms in his bank. Oh, what a bad person. It's like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. But like
Here's
never
That's-
forget that we're, you know, the bank robbers in this situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like not
You team up with the pickle gang.
Oh yeah, the pickle gang in the first game where they're in like a jar and you're like, do you want to let them out or do you want to leave them? And like, of course we let them out, you know. I'm pretty sure we all
Yeah,
did that.
I think we all did either that or it
don't
doesn't
remember.
matter
Yeah.
whether
It's
you
been
do or
a
not.
while
Obviously,
since I played.
is-
I don't remember what I did.
What was that? 30 weeks ago? Oh my gosh. Something
Close.
like
But they
that.
got out anyway, so
Yeah, it's fine. Well, because I assume
Canonically, yeah.
because the war happened.
war.
Oh yeah, because so like I'm pretty sure it was the true ending of the game that was the canonical one.
Oh yeah, canonical.
Obviously,
the
true ending.
God onion.
Yeah, you go and you kill the God Onion as Turnip Boy, and then the very next day, war happens.
Literally, it says it.
And then ever since then, people have just kind of been picking up the pieces.
No, literally. Then the day after that, now you're robbing a bank.
It's true.
That's what it says in the story. Yeah,
Are
literally.
You sure? I'm
like
gonna go look
2
right now.
days ago in the game, you kill God Onion. The day after you kill God Onion, war breaks out. The day after that, you're robbing a bank.
The picture that's like the home picture that you get says something about like, can't believe this was only yesterday.
Oh, maybe.
Because
maybe
it actually was.
Maybe I just misinterpreted that. That could be. But yeah,
it's still crazy because it's like, wow, this entire 2-game franchise takes place in
literally
3 days.
2 days. Woo. So I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about like the music and the graphics. Like,
music is like
10 out of 10.
Here.
Very good listening.
So the game play loop that we've been sort of alluding to this whole time is that obviously you've been approached by the pickle gang that we just talked about, and they, you say yes, and they're
like, yo, you want to make money?
Dillatini, sorry.
Yeah.
And you're like, of course I want to make money.
Well, I mean, you don't say anything. You're a silent protagonist. Obviously, you've been silent since the first game.
He explains.
Oh yeah, I guess he does, and he has looks.
For me.
Actually, before we get into the silent protagonist thing, if you recall from the first game, you say exactly one word to the granny, who like talks in like Nya speak, and that one word is stop, and canonically, she died.
Yeah, and because of that, she dies. Back in this game. She's the queen of hell.
She gets sent to the other side from hearing your voice.
Oh yeah,
and which is hell. She becomes the queen of hell. But like her like granddaughter's like, oh my god, Turnip Boy, you are the worst. You sent my grandma to the other side because you spoke to her. Your voice sends people to the other side. And it's just like, okay. She deserved it, but okay. And she's like, you have to make it up to me. You have to give her this her favorite like anime manga.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I think it was a manga, and then she sends back like how to draw manga, and it's very stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway,
there are lots of returning characters in this game. I guess the
they
one
all have to escape the war.
Well, I mean, they didn't have to do any of that, really. But the most notable ones, other than the Dillatini gang, is the Avocado girl.
Annie.
Oh
yeah, Annie Avocado. She acts as like a part.
The brains. She's the hacker man.
Yeah, she's a hacker man. She's the guy in the chair, behind you who's robbing the bank. She also like. There's a section of the game where you have to gather photos and you turn them into her. And I guess it's technically a quest, but it's a pretty like it's there from the beginning and it goes all the way to the very, very end type quest. So like it's pretty important. Pretty important part of the game because I'm pretty sure you can look them up at some point, like on your phone.
Yeah, you can check your photos.
Yeah, the gallery.
She's a scientist. She's doing it for science.
Yeah, she's also got a banana in a jar. That's weird.
For science.
Worry about that.
Yeah, for science. Have I been kidnapped?
Because
no, you're fine.
Just relax. Breathe it in.
She wants the pictures because she wants to learn more about the old world.
Oh yeah. I mean, she was there
though. Before the Great Mushroom, the Great Mush.
The Great Mush, which we're all assuming is the nuclear bomb.
We all know
may or may not be broccoli.
It's fine. It might be broccoli.
It may or may not be broccoli. It does look quite a bit like broccoli.
Suspiciously like broccoli.
But we're gonna ignore those guys.
I like how they're just like in there, and the mushroom people haven't like thrown them out yet.
Mushroom believers rise up.
Mushroom gang.
Anyway,
So you like get given a gun, and you have your sword from the previous game, and the Dilatinis are just like, all right, go break into the bank.
You're a god killer, so get in there, bud.
Yeah, you should be great. Go ahead, and then they like send you in, and like at first, yeah, at first you're like just like shaking people down that are hanging out in the lobby. You're breaking shit, looting like relics and stuff. It's not a whole lot you do in the beginning. I would say.
No, you're not, because like you're basically just trying to collect money, enough money to like upgrade stuff.
Yeah, because the like sort of rogue light element of the game is once you get money, you can bring it back and you can upgrade your stats. But like, I'm gonna be honest, those didn't really last that long for me. I don't know about you guys, but I cleared those pretty quick.
Yeah, I got them too. What I wanted first, of course, was the like bigger carrying capacity, because it's like you have a carrying capacity of money that you can pick up other than relics, and it's just like, well, that sucks. I'm still collecting money because I'm progressing.
Yeah,
because I'm finding all these rooms, and it's like, okay, well, I can't pick it up. Fine.
I didn't really personally. I like at first I thought like, oh, this is probably great. I can get bigger carrying capacity, and then I can bring home more money, and then I can get more stuff quicker. But like,
yeah,
after maybe another singular run, I was like, wait a minute. The majority of my money comes from the stuff I pick up off the ground. You know, the extra relics and stuff. So it's like it's kind of pointless to get extra carrying capacity, and so I just like got like damage and like better guns drop more often type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a few of those, and then tried to get enough money to get the like pickaxe and C4 to break into the vaults and stuff.
Yeah, because there's
I'm
also,
like, yeah, that'll get a lot of money.
There's also the dark web, which you can buy like quest related items and also like other random shit, like a laser pointer that helps you break into vaults, because that's a thing that makes sense.
How it works.
Makes sense. It's fine. Don't think about it.
What was it? What was the C4?
Yeah, you can look in your inventory. You have them all.
What was
laser
like
pointer, pickaxe? It's like a diamond pickaxe.
Was the other starter one. Yeah, like all very typical like roguelite stuff.
Once you get the goop boots, none of the ground, like the floor traps, can hurt you. Like none of the like enemy anything can hurt you.
Pretty much. That's like maybe halfway through the game.
Yeah, I mean it comes from the
dark web.
Yeah, the dark web.
The other thing is another like roguelite element is that if you pick up a weapon in the vault or in the bank, you can bring it home. You only have 2 slots. You can bring both the slots full of like new weapon, and if you give it to one of the gang members, it will like increase this weapon experience bar.
Yeah, it's like research.
Yeah, like research bar, and it will give you better base weapons.
Yeah.
Now,
and your base weapons are the ones that have like infinite ammo.
Yeah, as is pretty usual. Although I don't think I ever, like, even a single time ran out of ammo on like weapons in the bank.
There were a few times I did.
Really?
Drop ammo a lot. But a few times I did too. But I also usually kept a melee weapon on me. For the sole reason that you run out of ammo.
Because
like, duh.
Well, I don't know. Like even the times where I like was using 2 rocket launchers or 2 grenade launchers or whatever, and they only have like 10 rounds, I was finding ammo like crazy. I don't know. Maybe that was just me.
I don't know. I mean, I found a lot of ammo too. It was just I kept the melee weapons on me as a just in case, because I play other twin stick shooters, aka Gungeon.
Yeah.
And if you run out of ammo, you're
pretty much screwed. Yeah.
You're pretty much screwed, because then you've got your base gun that you start with, which is ass. So
yeah. Well, and it's like it's pretty conventional wisdom for games like this, but I would
yeah,
say that
and this you pretty much
it's pretty
don't
forgiving.
need
I don't
to.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it wasn't often that I ran out of ammo. But there were a few times when I was like, dang, I really need to not run out of ammo right now. And so I would just keep either a base weapon or mostly a base weapon on me at all times.
I mean, like most of the time, the base weapons were actually pretty good.
yeah, that's
So
the thing I was gonna say next is like for every weapon that you found, unless it was a boss weapon explicitly, there was a base weapon equivalent that was just as good, and like that honestly surprised me because
yeah,
like usually in these types of games the base weapons suck like really
yeah.
Yeah.
bad.
Once I got the like the assault rifle, I used that for a while until I got the laser gun.
Yeah,
I like the grenade launcher, the chainsaw you get eventually, and then when the shotgun came out, I used that
Oh,
for a
I used
while
the
until the
shotgun a
grenade
lot
launcher
too.
came out.
Shotgun was my other go-to.
so
It's like when I researched my weapons and like I only had the base weapons, I would bring a shotgun and the assault rifle with me.
I think for the vast majority, as long as I had it, I used like the shotgun for the lower levels, and then once I got the laser gun, I pretty much used that only.
Yeah,
Uh, the other thing I was gonna say is, did you guys finish the the research for everything?
I did. Yes,
I did
I
not.
did it
No.
after.
I think I still had two, which is like really
Um,
awkward. I just like I was like, I don't want to keep farming these because the beginning ones don't really give any
no, what I did
research.
was I killed the like sheriff guy
Oh yeah,
over and over because his toaster gun gave a lot, or
that's
his
smart.
sniper,
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
smart.
really fucking easy.
I should have thought
But
of
yeah,
that.
what you get for unlocking everything is after the laser gun, you get the rocket launcher, which was alright.
Yeah. I got
Then
the
the
rocket launcher.
chainsaw, and then the last thing is um
Oh, okay. Okay, so
it's like
I
a
also
Newton
just jumped
gun.
on the game and I literally needed like one more weapon to max out my.
Yeah, it's like a Newton launcher gun or whatever.
Hmm.
It shoots like a cluster that explodes into smaller
Gotcha.
clusters, which it
Yeah,
does pretty decent damage, but it's
I'm trying
slow.
to find like a
But
good picture of the like final things that I had.
my favorite weapon that I used once I got it was the like horn beetle, the
What?
scarab, the like
That's like
horn
a
beetle sword.
melee. It's like a
Yeah.
melee thing that just goes pow.
No. I mean, it is melee, but you shoot a sword beam when you're at full health.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Which, in turn, if you hit both the melee hit and the sword beam,
Does a lot of
does a
damage.
lot of damage.
Does a lot of damage. I
Like
think
I'm
the
hitting this
best
dummy
weapon
right
of the
now, and
game,
it's like
obviously,
hitting up to 42.90 or 42.19 damage
the
for
uh,
DPS.
the best weapon in the game, obviously, was your dad's pistol.
Dad's pistol, yeah, it one shots everything.
Mhm.
Pretty sure.
Pretty good. Pretty good weapon.
Also, you have your dad as a ghost behind you while you're using it.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So I think I probably had the one weapon left, and I just didn't have the patience to finish it because I'm bad. Because it's like chainsaw right after the rocket launcher, and then there's one more, and then there's the um whatever the Newton explodey
Yeah.
thing was, and I just didn't get that last thing
No,
there.
no, no. The Newton is the last one.
Yeah, because I figured whatever was after the chainsaw was going to be the last one, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I was like, whatever, that's it.
Well,
Oh, I
because
wanted to say something.
the one slot is your dad's gun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Nicole.
Sorry, for it was going back to all the like upgrades.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised you guys went for capacity first and not the timer, because that's what I went for first. Was the timer.
I
Oh,
And
upgraded
then
the
you have.
timer once.
I didn't upgrade the timer until I had like ass loads of money because I upgraded it maybe once because I had a lot of money and I could like do everything once. I'm just like, okay, yeah,
I
whatever.
mean, that's pretty much what I did, but like as soon as I could,
But like
I would go for the timer first and
at
then the
first I
other
was
things.
afraid of the timer because I'm like, oh no, the fuzz. And then once it like hit and then the fuzz started coming down, I'm like, how is this harder?
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a little bit harder, but the
And
enemies
then the
don't get
only
stronger; they just get more, which is not really anything when you have AOE guns.
yeah, exactly. Um, I also like purposely went to 5 stars for the first time because I wanted to see what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the gas is good, but honestly, I wish that it would have just been that like the enemies got stronger, like way stronger.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Or
was gonna
like
happen.
these
But like,
giga powerful enemies just like come up, they're like cows and they just like shoot milk at you and explode you.
yeah,
Like,
you just die, or just like not instantly, but they do a lot of damage, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, I better get out of here.
I mean, the gas does
Um,
give passive damage,
yeah,
so
but
it's
there
whatever.
was that. And it wasn't like slow passive damage. It was actually really fast passive damage.
yeah.
Not if you're killing the fuzz that are constantly coming and getting health.
Jeez.
Anyway,
Um yeah, I think that this gameplay loop is like super like I don't know how they came to this. Just
I
cuz
don't
it's
know
like
either, but
it's
it was fun.
it's super snappy. It creates this incredible sense of urgency even if the police are really not that much of a threat. It's like boom, here's a timer. This is when shit starts to get real.
Here's
Like
another timer.
here is just an assload of quests. Go do everything. And you're like, okay.
Pretty like,
Yeah.
all right.
And like not only
Uh,
just okay, but like you have to map out the entire like bank in your head. You have to figure out you have to
I mean,
remember where every
you have a
NPC
sort of
is.
map, but
Well, yeah, but I'm like you don't
yeah, I
have
know.
time to remember like to go and check your phone and the map all the time. Like you got to remember that shit, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, it's on the fly. You
Yeah,
gotta go.
you running. You got to get to the next thing. Um, it definitely creates this like insane sense of urgency that I like. It just makes for such an intense like gaming experience. I guess you could say. I don't know.
It's
It's
good. Yeah.
another like really addictive quality to this game for some reason. Because like
Shit.
yeah, well. The thing is like they made this super addictive game that is like I don't know, like it's very fast paced, it's very interesting, very fun to play. Like the gun mechanics are really punchy, the variety of guns is like ridiculous. Um
Yeah.
and then like the game is over in like 4 hours and it's 100%ed basically. You
Yeah. I
know?
mean, it basically
Like
100% itself.
yeah, it basically 100% itself. Unlike the first game, there's no endless mode. You know, like you can't.
I mean, the endless mode is kind of just played again, even though not
Yeah,
really.
but like I don't know,
I know
man.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
This game is good, but like, do you really want to just like erase your file and do it again?
Maybe in a couple years.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean for sure. Um, give it a little time. I can see that, but I'm saying uh, if this game had an endless mode, obviously it's still new, so maybe like they'll patch one in or something later down the line, because it did come out this year.
It's true.
You
It
know, no
did.
big deal. Um, like if this game had an endless mode, it would be like super good. You know what I mean? Like give it like
Yeah.
a floor, right? And then you just like go to the next floor, and then you just go to the next floor and give it like a real roguelite experience similar to Gungeon as
Mhm.
just like the end game. You know what I mean? That would be crazy good.
Yeah.
Especially with just like the vibe the game puts out. Like, so
Yeah.
good.
Let me just vibe to the music forever.
That's like that's like the only criticism that I can really come up with from this game, which is like I've given it to a few other games before, is like please more. Please more. More please.
More.
Like more game is what we want. We want more game because we finished what you gave us and we're still hungry for more. And that's not just because everybody in your game is a vegetable or fruit. I don't discriminate.
I don't want to eat these
There
vegetables.
is a bag of milk and some worms.
There is a bag of milk. He's very apologetic.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Also the MVP because like
you didn't get that? That's why he's apologetic, because he's Canadian, because Canada has bagged milk. Ha ha ha. That's the joke.
When I first bought it, I wasn't sure what it did, and then like I was like, this thing that is exploding every few seconds.
And then you got hit and it popped.
And then I got hit and it exploded. And it's just like, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then it does like actually so much damage.
Yeah, it does an absurd amount of damage. When it's like max level.
Everything on screen.
Kills everything on screen, does like a third of a boss's health and damage, which is kind of nutty.
Yeah, it is. And then
I leveled him up immediately.
For a few seconds.
As soon as I realized what he did for real, I was like, oh, I'll just max that immediately.
Yeah, once I got to the like fourth area, or even the third area with all the gold stuff, I had enough money to just like buy everything.
Pretty much. Money stops being an object, except for like achievements pretty quickly. Like you stop needing it for almost anything important.
Yeah.
Because like the weapons don't require money to buy. You just kind of get them. Like, oh well.
I also like once I found the Dark Souls campfire that gave money, I pretty much stopped doing everything else and unlocked all of his music.
Yeah.
Like
wait, he gave money?
No, he didn't give money. He gave music.
Yeah, he gave music in exchange for souls.
Yeah. I stopped right when I found him and saw what he like gives you. I stopped everything I was doing.
I need more music, please.
And I'm just like, I need all of this music.
So the thing that I wanted to ask is, what was your favorite boss to fight? If you have one, I mean,
I don't know. I want to say Henry or whatever his name is, but I also don't want to because like,
the weird gross thing at the end.
Yeah.
The guy.
But like it wasn't even that
guy.
fun to fight. It was.
I did not like him.
He was a human.
I was
a human who got like.
It was like Uncle Henry or something.
Disfigured by the bomb, obviously.
Yeah. I think mine was Mecha Chad.
Yeah, Mecha Chad was
yeah, he wasn't bad.
He died like a bitch.
He kind of did that.
I actually like gasped out loud so much when I saw the last boss.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
yeah, exactly. It's like
I was like,
okay. Horrifying.
Like,
I didn't
what is
realize.
it?
Like, wait, like Henry or like the end boss?
Henry.
Okay.
The fourth boss,
me too, he's like,
boss.
It's like
he's like weird and fucked up looking, like.
Because like you fight a human in the first game too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but
this is
like this
different. Yeah, he needs his
nasty.
Coffee. He asked for a coffee. He asked for it hot, not iced. What the fuck? Yeah, I think mine was probably Chad too. Just cause like it's Chad, man.
Yeah, it's Mega Chad.
And and the fact that he like tries to distract you with like
oh my gosh
slime videos.
Yeah.
The slime video, and he's like, "Oh, it's not working."
It's like half
and I was like,
too.
I literally,
you guys love those, and I'm like,
I laughed so hard that like I took so much damage on that fight that I was down to like literally a half of health because I was just laughing because it's like,
It was
oh
funny.
man, are you on TikTok and you can't like focus long enough on these 30-second videos that we have to put
focus on what you're doing.
Here's a secondary video for you to watch while you're watching this other video. It's like that's what they're making fun of. That's what that is. That's so funny.
I know. It is funny.
Because I make fun of that all the time.
What was your favorite hat?
I'm an elder.
Doug Dimmadome hat.
Doug Dimmadome. Yeah, I think I wore that for like a solid amount of time.
I wore that the whole game.
But it got really distracting.
Oh yeah, it was hella distracting the entire time. But did I stop wearing it? No.
I switched to the mailbox after a while.
Really?
Yeah, it's a goofy one.
I don't know why. I was just like, this is it.
I actually started with the mini-me hat until I got the Doug Dimmadome, because you get the Doug Dimmadome hat, I think, by killing the like sheriff guy.
Yeah.
So once I saw that, I'm like,
early,
well, I know what I'm wearing for the rest of the game, and I did. So
I went bald for the first bit. Because I got a second opinion. I was like, what should I wear at? Because it was just the 3 base ones. I was like, normal and the mini-me or bald. And he was like, bald. And I was like, yeah, I should have known.
Yeah, you're right.
Bald. And then I eventually realized that you get emails.
Oh,
yeah. Just a whole bunch of
and then
hats.
it's like, here, have every single hat.
I was like, oh, wow. And then I debated whether I should do one of the flower crowns or the Doug Dimmadome hat, and I was like, well, I
feel like this is easy to answer.
Yeah,
cannot pass up the Doug
too good of a
Dimmadome.
hat, like, honestly.
Because it's just like,
the rest of the game.
It literally goes on forever. It does not stop.
Yeah.
It's the whole screen.
I
wouldn't be surprised if like you found a way to mod the game to where you zoomed out like as far as possible. If it literally like
actually went off like in the whole way.
Yeah. Which would be hilarious, by the way. Somebody should find a way to do that if they can.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Frog gun.
I think that this
frog gun was really good.
Are we missing anything like story wise? Or not story wise, gameplay wise, before we move to the story?
Oh, gameplay wise?
I don't think so. The only thing I guess we haven't talked about is like how many quests there are. There are a lot of quests. It's like they front load you with quests. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, what you're saying, they front load you with like a lot of quests, like right at the beginning. They just toss everything on top of you. But half of them you end up completing on the way of your exploration.
Yeah, that's what Tim was saying, is like this game 100% itself, basically.
Pretty much. So like for the first couple minutes, it's like, oh god, there's no end in sight for so many quests, and then you don't find any more people, and you're like, oh.
Once you get to seed stock, you just pick up like 7 quests, and you're like, okay, well,
well, and then there's a bunch of quests that you run into in various rooms. You know, the mushroom room. It's like, oh,
mushroom room.
Here's like 5 quests right away. It's like,
locker room.
God, oh my god, I've got so much to do, and then you realize that it's like actually not that much. You're like, well, this is actually fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't, it's actually it seems like a lot in the beginning, like especially in the beginning, and then like directly after the beginning, but as you go on just a little, you realize that like everything is in a straight line path. You just have to like go kill the bosses.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that really take any amount of time are the mushroom ones. Just because it is like kill X enemy, break X like thing.
Yeah, break 1,000 furniture.
If you don't get in there early enough, then oof.
Yeah, it becomes kind of an issue.
But hey, it's a way to keep you playing the game. So
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any complaints about it. I just got a little. There was a couple of things where I was like, I can't find this last picture. I can't
Yeah.
find this last enemy. Please.
Pictures.
Did you enjoy the final picture, Nicole?
I did enjoy the final. No, I
The-
didn't enjoy the final picture. It was bad.
The backrooms picture was like, yeah, it was a jump scare. Actually, I think it was like 2 jump scares.
No, I think it was just the
No, it
one.
was just one. Just one.
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay.
You take the picture and she's like, "Oh God, what is that?" The other thing that I guess I would like to kind of point out is like the ending sequence, kind of annoying.
Oh
How
yeah.
many times did you die on that one? Because I died a lot.
I think I died twice. Oh no,
I
3
died
times.
once, and it was like right at the last rocket.
Well, I just like I kept going in with the stupid weapons. Like
Yeah.
you take an assload of damage from the enemies there, and you
Yeah.
need stuff that is able to like break the rocks very quickly, and has no like
No,
ammo
like,
requirement.
no ammo. Also, like
Grenade launcher.
attacks quite quickly.
Yeah, and so I
But,
kept
like once I
going
died,
in.
I pretty much just used the base weapon, the laser.
Yeah, I kept
that.
going in with like the chakram, and then I kept going in with like other sort of things, and it's like no, you don't need that. You just like bring the laser gun. It shoots through everything. You can just like easily pop enemies because they die in one hit. No matter what the weapon is, just as long as you hit them. And then like pathing is really all that you have to worry about. But
You have to
man,
dodge the big alien bastard too.
I do admit I didn't realize you could break everything at first. Like all
I
the
definitely
rocks and
didn't either.
debris.
I didn't either until I like accidentally did it. I'm like, oh well, this makes it easier.
Yeah.
Well, I was using the Dawn's gun, and I was just trying to like skirt around everything quickly, and it just wasn't working. And I was trying to get to the Chad, Mecha Chad's boss room
the
first,
top right.
because it was the furthest away, and I was like, this is taking so long. So I like tried to go to a different one first. I tried to go to a different one first. And it was like so many tries. Nothing was working. I kept dying. And then I brought in the grenade launcher and like started just shooting everything, and I was like,
oh,
I could break these rocks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and everything's exploding.
Yeah, I think there was like a sort of a set path. Not really, but like you could go to any of them at
you could go to any corner that you wanted, but
once you go to the like Uncle Grimsby, or not Grimsby, the Uncle Henry. Why did I say Grimsby? I don't fucking know.
Because his name is actually Rigsby.
Rigsby. Yeah, that's the one.
I just remembered that.
That guy. You can't go left back into the lobby. It's like blocked off. So it's kind of like a big circle.
Yeah. Well,
you have to do it in a circle.
The thing is like I took the bosses almost in order, because like you could go back to the middle room.
Yeah, you can.
If you started at like boss 1 and then boss 2, right? And then like you go back to the room, and then I went to the right side and went, bottom top, and then like it was super easy to get back from there.
Yeah.
I went boss 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
I did
because after boss 3, he like in his boss room, there's the door that goes down into the 4th area, and then you just take that all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
So you could do it in order, which
that's
pro
probably
tip,
intended.
just do it in order.
Yeah. That's probably intended, to be honest.
Yeah, I did like 4, I think, then 3, and then I think 1 and 2.
I will say though, the fact that any hit from the like big alien person dealt 2 hearts of damage. Ooh,
Yeah.
Very annoying. Very, very annoying. But yeah, I think that's it for
I think that's it for gameplay.
Or like gameplay. I don't like really, really solid gameplay. Somehow managed to iterate on the previous in like a good way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that's like well done. I don't know how you did that, but you managed it and you kept it interesting. So
Yeah.
yeah. So there is like a definitely a story to this game, and it's like kind of something.
Go rob a bank.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than like go rob a bank, but not that much.
No, not really that much, but anyway.
So as we said before, at the very beginning of the game, it outlines that you killed a god, and then the war happened.
The war.
And then you are approached by the Dilatini gang, and they're like, "Oh, you got to take this job. Your dad would have wanted you to, even though he hated us and we hated him.
Even though we're rival gangs.
Yeah,
the Turnipchinos and the Dilatinis.
Right. Which is hilarious, but
since your whole family is like basically dead, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And so like. He's like, I've got one last job for you, even though this will be the first job that you're working for me, but it doesn't matter. I've got one last job for you. We're going to break into this bank owned by this like big butthole guy. And, we're going to rob him of his glorious fortune.
He was a friend to Onion Man.
Yeah.
Mayor Onion.
Mayor Onion, who you killed.
No. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. And so you're like, all right, sure, yeah, let's do that. He takes you under his wing. He teaches you how to shake people down, which is like obviously the first step of robbing a bank. It's
teaches you how to shoot gun.
It's the like shakedown to bank robbery pipeline. First you're taking people's watches. Next you're like shooting people, and then next you're breaking into banks owned by worldwide criminals. Obviously, those all related things.
It's a very slippery slope.
And so you like go through each area. You meet all these different people that are giving you like various quests. Like the one girl's like, oh my god, I'm an artist for a like popular streamer who you met in the first game, and like I gave her art but she never paid me, so you should go and like get my payment. And
you do, and like she gives you exposure bucks to give to the artist.
Yeah,
and the artist's like, how am I supposed to pay my bills with this?
All very funny, like jokes
funny,
like this.
Doesn't
very
ever happen in real life.
Very sad. It's true.
Cries and no exposure. Anyway, the story isn't like the story is that you go ahead.
You're looking for the mysterious mother lode.
Yeah, you want to like find your big score, but the like I don't know, it gets a little bit sort of deeper in that it's like the guy that you're going to rob, this garlic who's a friend of the onion, obviously, because garlics and onions. Stinky.
Stinky. His name is Stinky. I can't get over that.
Because he's a garlic.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I knew your dad. I, helped him make into the man he was, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's sort of like revealed towards the end that he
was the one who assassinated him.
Yeah, he was the one that like took out your dad. What?
He shot him point blank.
Yeah.
Right into the head. No, nothing. No.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking
honorable
about
way
this,
to die. He just died.
Now that I'm like looking back on like footage and thinking about it, there wasn't a whole lot of like actual story because like you fight.
No, not really.
Yeah, you like fight each boss, and they're all kind of just like in jokes for themselves.
Yeah, the cowboy is he's like the sheriff of the bank, I guess.
Yeah, his name's Yeehaw. He's a potato who his hair are French fries, and He's got like a little American flag, even though like
the
you're definitely not
secret
in
this
America.
bank has because Stinky wanted me to. He pays me. And
Well,
you're
like I'm
okay.
convinced that the first boss is like some kind of Donald Trump Ian figure, because
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I don't know. It's very like, yeah.
Maybe he's just a Texan.
Maybe he's just a Texan. I don't know. He was very very yeehaw.
His name is Yeehaw, after all.
Yeah.
True.
The
second boss is like
it's just a monster.
Candy apple.
Yeah, it's a horrifying candy apple that you need to put out of its misery.
Because garlic Stinky tried to like make a party for his like all his accomplishments because he's like an egotistical greedy bastard.
Well, no, because it was a festival that was thrown for the like village people that were taking up residence in his bank, but he doesn't know how to throw a party, so it just became about him.
Yeah.
And all of his accomplishments, and they didn't really like that, so it became a failed, horrifying spectacle.
Mm-hmm. And then a giant candy apple took residence, and it's like, okay, kill that.
Yeah. I'm like trying to think of like any of the story beats that happen in between, and like all I'm coming up with are like,
no, it was a lot of talking.
The dill pickle being like, dude, you just got to keep going. You're gonna run into like you're gonna get paid more the farther you go.
You're gonna find it eventually. We gotta search this whole bank.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And the whole time, Stinky is like hurling insults at you.
Basically, yeah. There is a like spot at the very end where he's has like a sentimental moment where he's like, oh man, like you're the son that I never had that I totally would have had because you're cool. And then like he runs his truck into the big alien and like that's the end of the game.
Yeah. First he gives you a name.
Oh yeah, he like
Don Turnipchino the second.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you got if you got the title from the like King Goblin, it's Sir Don Turnipchino the second.
Yeah, which you probably did.
Which
but like
we all did because we did all.
I kind of was expecting some kind of like backstab or double cross.
With
the gang, the Dilatini gang, but like it never really came.
But also like kind of not expect it because Dilatini knows you kill gods for fun.
Yeah, but like
like I mean, why like, do you want to get on Mr. Turnip Boy's bad side? Honestly,
well, I mean, it's not necessarily getting on his bad side. It's like, oh, you are now faced with like this giant alien that's like destroying everything. I'm gonna like make off with the loot. But like instead he comes back to save you, and it's like all good. You know, I don't know. It like
there just wasn't a lot of story.
Yeah, I really thought there was more, but like now that I'm looking at footage and stuff, it's like
no,
not really.
Not really like full story. It was a lot of just talking.
Well, I mean that's what a story is.
I mean, yeah, but it's like I don't know.
But it like
it wasn't like the first game where it's like you're going through this place and you're doing these certain quests that like take you
and you're uncovering like plots of corruption within the town, and the mayor is bad, and like he's trying to like get you off of your land for reasons, and then you find out that your dad was a part of a like the mob and the mafia, and he's actually like, oh my gosh, he's actually the head mafioso, like holy crap, like all these things.
Yeah.
But like
whereas in this game it's like
oh
right, you already know this guy's
you gotta rob a bank.
You gotta fucking rob this bank.
Like,
and then
right,
you actually like rob the bank. The bank itself. You actually steal the bank.
Yeah, that is true. You do launch 4 rockets from the 4 corners, and you
literally
pick up
just
the whole bank.
Steal the whole bank and put it on the moon. Easy peasy.
Which, you know, that's pretty funny. But
and if you guys did notice the like alien coming after you as you're doing that, like that was foreshadowed from the beginning. If you talk to the little blueberry at the lobby,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
we're watching you, and then he shows up later, and you're like, "You son of a bitch!"
well, so the one thing that I was going to ask,
wondering when that blueberry would come in.
the one thing that I was going to ask was that, so the guy inside the like mecha thing looks like your dad. Is that just a robot that looks like your dad, or not robot, but like alien?
It was like
that
a
looks like your
worm
dad?
that like stole his face or something.
Yeah, because it kept changing.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't really pay attention very well to that, but I was running for my life.
You're running.
Every once in a while, when I actually glanced at the robot, I was like, "Oh, it's wearing a different face."
I was trying not to get hit.
But yeah,
But yeah. Well, I'm glad somebody noticed.
Strange and interesting. No, not a whole lot of story in this, but like
honestly, though, is that a bad thing?
It's not.
No,
and like, how many times have we talked about it, Tim? Like, what makes a game good?
A game is either story or gameplay.
Yeah, we have 4 elements that we like to look at, which is story, gameplay, music, and graphics. And you need to be strong in like...
This hits both gameplay and music.
Yeah.
So it's got 2 out of 4.
Well, and graphics too.
And graphics.
Because the graphics aren't really unpleasant to look at.
No, they're quite good actually. Like you can be weak in 2 of these aspects as long as they're both not gameplay and story. Like the previous week, like Ghost Runner from last week
episode, Ghost Runner,
where game sucked, story sucked, and all we had was like really good music and really good graphics, and everything else was trash.
Yeah, those don't really save a game.
Yeah.
See previous game, Wonder Boy.
But yeah, I mean, like if you have a game like this where it's like shining beacon of 3 aspects, but its 4th aspect kind of lacks, but like the gameplay really makes up for it. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly a bad story. There just wasn't very much of it.
Yeah. I guess you make a family connection in the end, but like he kind of goes off and like sacrifices himself for you, so that's not really very long lived. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. I mean, it's fine. This all happened in like 2 days, 3 days, anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe they'll make another one where you go kill another god. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
The next.
If we get another one that's like they're just gonna go genre hopping up.
Probably. It's gonna be
Go make a survival game now.
No. It's gonna be a tower climbing deck builder.
There are a lot of those now, aren't there?
Yeah, and the big bad is gonna be a ginger.
What if they go into
like a literal piece of ginger?
I would play a Turnip Boy first person shooter.
There's no way. First of all, it's not going to happen because then they'd have to redo all of the textures that they've been saving for the last 2 games.
No. Just it's fine. Just like slap it over a Doom clone.
No, dude. No. Please.
Chex Quest, anyone?
It's a good game.
All right.
I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I don't.
Give it a rating 1 through 10.
9.
I'm gonna do 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 as well.
I'm pretty sure we did that.
Would recommend.
First Turnip Boy, either 9 or 10. I don't remember.
No, I think it was either 9 or 9.5. I might have given it a 9.5, but I will give this one a solid 9. Would recommend. One of the most pleasant games I've played this year. Definitely up there.
And it only came out like how long ago?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty new. There is room for like more things.
Like literally the beginning of this year.
There is room for, and it's on Steam, so like technically there's room for like mods. I'm certain there's room for like all kinds of things. You know?
Yeah.
There the sky's the limit. Let's see when this game like actually released.
Yeah, it was
Store
January.
page came out the beginning of the year, January 18th, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So technically we're like a couple of months late, which is fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about
but
it.
it's good. It's a good game. It has room for growth if they ever decide to add a couple of patch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Unless, they are just gonna move on.
Yeah, I mean, they might just move on. It's an indie team, so
Yeah.
all right. I'm happy. Good game.
Good game.
Our next game is called The Bridge.
The Bridge.
Yeah. If
Which
Nicole,
I don't even know what kind of game that is.
I think it's a puzzle game.
Puzzle game.
I'm not quite sure.
Just fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the Ghost Runner type of puzzle game.
No. But yeah, thank you for joining us, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know scheduling is
Figured-
difficult, but you're welcome
We had to
anytime.
win since you were in the first one.
Yeah. Tried to get cat legs like we said, but it is what it is.
Fortunately, yeah.
So, all right. I think that's it. Let's wrap it up here.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.